Hi, this is Stacie, one of the adult service librarians at Shaker Heights Public Library, and we want to share some titles that are readily available for download through our library services Hoopla and Overdrive. So I'm going to mention three books that have a theme of art history. Two of them are historical fiction, and one is a group biography, so it's nonfiction. The first title is by Christina Baker Klein, and she is the best-selling author of 2013's Orphan Train. This one is A Piece of the World from 2017, and this is about Andrew Wyeth and his iconic painting, Christina's World. And in this painting, there is a woman in a pink dress in the middle of a vast field, sitting with her back to us. And she's looking back at a wind-blown farmhouse up on the hill. And we can't see her face, but we can tell that she's yearning for something. So the namesake of this artwork is a real person, Christina Olsen, and this novel is her narrating her life. And it alternates between her childhood and her adult life, all of which were lived in this farmhouse in the painting. And that house was her family's historic farmhouse in Cushing, Maine. And she was born in 1893 and was struck, unfortunately, by a progressive bone disease that made mobility very difficult and caused constant pain for her. But she grows up smart and tenacious, and she has hopes for adventure and romance. I won't give anything away in the book. But what it leads to is that, unfortunately, in her mid-40s, she finds herself still living with her younger brother in the house, the same house. And she's introduced to Andrew Wyeth by Betsy James, a family friend, and the young woman who ends up being his wife. And he visits daily and sets up a studio upstairs. And he's inspired by the house, but also by Christina's quick mind and her determination. And she grows to feel a kindred spirit in him because he doesn't pity her. So it's beautifully written, and this is a gentle and profound story that evokes the healing power of friendship. And Christina's World has always been a painting that I've wondered about what the backstory would be, and you'll just never look at that painting the same way after reading this novel. The second book I'd like to mention is B.A. Shapiro's The Muralist. This is another work of fiction, but this is from 2015, and it's a novel. It's a satisfying blend of history, art, and mystery. It opens in the present day with Danielle, or Danny Abrams, who is a cataloger at Christie's auction house, coming across some canvases that may have been painted by her great aunt Alize, who mysteriously disappeared in 1940 when she was on the verge of fame as a political artist in the budding abstract expressionist movement. So in the novel, Alize and her colleagues, Mark Rothko and Lee Krasner and Jackson Pollock, are hired by the Works Progress Administration, the WPA, to paint public murals. But she's plagued by Hitler's terrifying actions against the Jews, and she's trying desperately to obtain visas for her Jewish family members who are still trapped in Europe. So pre-World War II America comes to life in this story. And there's also, in addition to the real life artists who are characters in it, there's also Eleanor Roosevelt and Charles Lindbergh and the Assistant Secretary of State Breckinridge Long, who covertly obstructed the issuing of visas to desperate Jewish refugees. So it's a novel of art and romance and tragically timely historical issues and family legacy. It's highly readable, noirish intrigue, and a compelling detective story. And I forgot to mention, both this book and the previous book, A Piece of the World, are available both on Hoopla and Overdrive, and both in the e-book format to read and the e-audiobook. The third title I want to mention is a work of nonfiction. This is a group biography entitled In Montmartre, Picasso, Matisse, and the Birth of Modernist Art by Sue Rowe. And it's a lively and engaging book. It blends the colorful narrative and exceptional research of art historian Sue Rowe, and it brings to life the vibrant figures who invented modernist art in Bohemian Paris in the first decade of the 20th century. The book primarily revolves around Picasso's life and work, as he was a young man when he arrived in Paris in October of 1900 and found a home in Montmartre, which is the hillside district in northern Paris, in the shadow of the windmills, among the cafes and cabarets and dance halls. It's where the artists came together with acrobats and prostitutes and dancers and clowns. It was here that he meets an extraordinary group of artists, among others, Brancusi and Braque and Matisse and Modigliani. And then Gertrude Stein is also there, together with her collector brother, Leo, and their nightly salons had a huge impact financially and aesthetically on the artists. And the book also involves other aspects of the emerging avant-garde, including fashion and dance and music and film and literature. So it almost reads like a novel, though. It's with juicy tidbits of colorful relationships, loyalties, feuds, love affairs, and infidelities. So it's entertaining and insightful, and it really brings Montmartre's bohemian heyday back to life. So this one is available on Overdrive only, unfortunately, not on Hoopla, but it is available on Overdrive in both ebook and e-audiobook. So I hope you enjoy those, and we look forward to seeing you again at Shaker Heights Public Library soon. Thank you.